true spirituality and fear, isolation, not being connected to your life, etc., do not coexist. True spirituality is very joyous. It's very prosperous. It's very harmonious. It's very compassionate. And let's go there. But that's a summary answer for you. But now let's look at this. What happens? What happens is that a lot of people get introduced to spirituality in very convoluted terms. There are a lot of these, people who have very little partial understanding of this concept, and they introduce spirituality as meditation or some practices or some certain path. No, that's not what it is. If you have to understand true spirituality, you have to go deep into our trio of Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and Brahmasutras, and there you will find rich understanding of what Adhyatma really is. And I'll introduce that word Adhyatma. However, to answer your question, what is the impact of true spirituality on our life? Let's understand this in 5 parts. The first part that I will explain this to you is, what are the signs that you will see of Adhyatmik Unnati? So the term that you're using, spiritual progress, instead of that I'm using Adhyatmik Unnati in the true Vedic sense. And then if you have that Adhyatmik Unnati, what will be the impact of that on your 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha? There is no other better way to understand Adhyatmik Unnati other than to understand in terms of these 4. So very quickly, if your spiritual progress has happened, if your Adhyatmik Unnati has happened through the directions of Guru, through the directions of the granthas that we have, through the understanding of jnana that we have, then number 1, you will see a lot of inner stability. You will not have those volcanoes of emotions, etc. impacting you. You'll have a lot of clarity and wisdom. You'll be able to think logically. You'll respect emotions, but logical reasoning, your ability to deal with life will be far better, and people will actually recognize you for the kind of insights, the kind of wisdom that you bring. You will also be very compassionate towards others, and this is not just about the vague empathy, but here you will take action. The difference between empathy and compassion is empathy may not make you take action, but compassion truly makes you take action towards life, connect with others, work with them better, collaborate, produce things, give care to the environment together with others, etc. Right? And the 4th thing is you will enjoy life, but you'll have freedom from attachment towards things. You will not get addicted to things. You will not, overindulge in whether it's friendships or food or some other pleasures, etc. And lastly, you will have a very deep connection with divine. You will not be sitting in some meditation or some chanting or some process and connecting to your divine. You will always be connected to divine. So those 5 are the most important the evidence of true Adhyatmik Unnati. And I'll repeat those for you so that you can write it down. Inner stability, clarity and wisdom, compassionate living, freedom from attachments, and very importantly, connection with your divine. In fact, constant connection with the divine. Now, if you have that Adhyatmik Unnati, what will happen to your life? You are not going to do all that adambar or that drama that a lot of people do. There are tons of people putting on this drama. Oh, my Kundalini is rising and something is happening to me. Or people say, oh, I am totally detached, I am renounced. People will, where are you these days? Oh, I am on my spiritual journey and I am nowhere to be. No, none of that will happen. Here, understand it in the 4 Purusharthas. The number 1, your Dharma. And that's where your duty, your righteousness comes in. And whatever are the contexts of your life, if your Adhyatmik Unnati has happened, you will embrace your Dharma. And whatever is your dharmic responsibility, whether it's towards your parents, your family, your friends, your society, your work, productivity, all of those things will be right up there. In fact, you will be an example of ethics. You will be an example of, taking tradition along with innovation. You will experiment, you will learn the new, you will respect the old. All of that will come through. So in each aspect of your life, Adhyatmik Unnati helps you embrace your dharmas and perform at the highest level towards yourself, which means you will take care of your health, well-being, etc., towards others around you, which means you will be a connector, you will be a bonder, you will work for everybody's benefit along with yours. You will also take care of the environment, you will establish ethics, you will give back. In fact, a lot of giving back also to the planet, to sustainability, etc. That's where the dharma gets enhanced by Adhyatmik Unnati. In fact, you will speak up at the right forums, and this is not about activism. You will speak up and you will do things for the true reforms. Do you think this is isolatory? No, not at all. Let's look at the second one, Artha. Now, when it comes to Artha, this is not just, wealth as some people know. That word Artha has to be understood in very deep sense. It's about material, it's about prosperity, it's about the depth of life, it's about building things, building legacy, all of that. Yes, wealth is definitely one part of it. But in a broader sense, Artha is about the prosperity, about the legacy that we leave. Now, if you are someone who has true Adhyatmik Unnati, you are not going to, consider money as an evil. No, it's a currency that is important for various exchanges in life. Money is important. Like if you have to build a business, you have to pay salaries, if you have to do things, if you have to spend so that other businesses can do their business, right? When you spend, other businesses get the money for their products or services. All of that is important. In fact, Adhyatmik Unnati says that as a responsible situation, you do more and more of it. Now, understand, and this is where you need to distinguish. Like, let's say you are a sannyasi. You may not need that essence of wealth as much as a householder or, a grihastha would in that sense need. Same way, if you are not just a grihastha, but if you are a business owner, or if you are an artisan, then you will need to invest in your art, your material, your businesses. You will need a lot of wealth. So, Adhyatmik Unnati respects that cycle of wealth creation, prosperity. The only balance that it brings is, it says, leave aside greed, leave aside wrong ways of doing things, give time, don't rush things, don't shortchange others, don't cheat. These are the lessons that we will learn from Adhyatmik Unnati. In fact, here is another thing that you will understand. Adhyatmik Unnati will also help you understand how and what kind of charity to do. Many people in today's world think that they will do wrong deeds and they'll come and give money to somebody and their karma saying, no, that is not at all charity or what Adhyatmik Unnati teaches you. It will actually help you understand the concept of seva, putting in hours, doing what you could do for a certain cause that really appeals to you. In fact, in Jyotish, by your nakshatra, you can even understand, or even by your dashas, you can understand what kind of charity should you do at that point in time. So that's the holistic understanding of what Adhyatmik Unnati will do for your Artha. Now let's look at Kama. Now Kama is not lust like a lot of people translate. Kama is what? Kama is desires, it's enjoyment, and a lot of people have desire, and everybody has desire. If you don't have desires, then there is something amiss with the way you are. Either you're ungrounded or you're purposeless in life. Now, enjoyments are good. And again, Adhyatmik Unnati doesn't say that you don't enjoy life. Now, if you're a grihastha and if you have family members and you are sitting together, you want to enjoy food and you want to enjoy partying or traveling somewhere, there is nothing wrong with that. Yes, if you were a sannyasi, yes, for sannyasis, there are several things which are prohibited that for a grihastha would be allowed. But the sannyasi also has their own kama, their own desire, where they will have desire towards the Lord, bhajana, kirtana, visiting spiritual places, etc. So that's the way that needs to be understood. But for a householder, for a common person living in society, Adhyatmik Unnati will help you understand not to indulge too much. And you need to understand that what is correct to your body. In fact, Ayurveda teaches you what kind of food, etc., that you can consume, what is moderation. In fact, Ayurveda teaches us that there are so many spices which are actually medicine. So if you're putting spices into your food, you are consuming medicine even without a certain condition. So those kind of things are understood. So Adhyatmik Unnati brings you that alertness. Now, here is another thing. Many people think that you have to completely renounce and denounce and isolate yourself from people and from friends. No, not at all. In fact, people with true Adhyatmik Unnati, both from Dharma and from Kama, will build right, deep relationships, very, very deep relationships. In fact, they will have sustained relationships They will not have these spur of the moment friendships, spur of the moment relationships, spur of the moment fun, spur of the moment enjoyment. No. Truly adhyatmically uplifted people collect masses. I mean, people get attracted to them. Their aura is such, their energy is such that they can do so much more. So the moment you understand Adhyatmik Unnati from those 5 perspectives that I said, which is inner stability, clarity and wisdom, compassionate living, from freedom from attachments and connection with the divine. And now these 3 parts that I've explained, which is Dharma, Artha and Kama, you will be completely able to see that it is not an isolatory life. So let me bring in these 2 words which are very commonly misused a lot of times by the West and a lot of times by people who are very ungrounded in their understanding of Adhyatma. They say you have to renounce and you have to avoid indulgences. Now understand this. What is renunciation when it comes to true Adhyatma in the Vedic sense? Renunciation means you renounce your ego, your egocentricity, your I-centeredness. You are seeing the world from your own perspective. And when you renounce that, you are truly an observer. So Adhyatma teaches you truly to be an observer of life. Watch how God's shaping this nature. Watch how Purusha and Prakriti are coming together and doing wonderful things. Watch how destiny is unfolding. Watch how interactions are unfolding. And you go to this place of, non-interference with life. And that non-interference means you only act according to your dharma. You only act according to the right kind of artha pursuits. You only intervene with life when it comes to the right kind of kama pursuits. That's how this whole concept of renunciation needs to be understood. Renunciation is not renouncing the world. Renunciation is not troubling your family, troubling friends and doing this and that, saying that, oh, I am now very spiritual. In my presence, you can't speak, you can't do this, you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't have fun, you can't watch. No, that is not spiritual progress. That is not the right pursuit of dharma, artha, kama, according to Adhyatmik Unnati. And the last one, moksha, again, extremely misunderstood in the 4 Purusharthas. People are constantly speaking about life after death and not having rebirth, and that is what the pursuit of Adhyatmik Unnati is. No, not at all. True moksha means that in this lifetime, for every single breath that you're there in this world, you perform all your duties of dharma, artha, kama with the divine in your mind. You are disconnected from your ego trying to get results in life, and you're connected to the divine and the divine voice, the divine knowledge, the divine understanding, moving from your Atman to Paramatma, from Paramatma to the Brahman, and understanding the ultimate, the indefinite knowledge that is sitting out there, so that what you consider, what you define as difficult or unnatural or negative or bad, all of these labels go away, and you simply just receive life the way it is supposed to be received. That's a state of being in moksha. Where your soul travels, will you be born, reborn? These are conversations that you will understand very deeply when you get into deeper pursuits of Vedas, Upanishads, and the Brahmasutras. And more on that on another day, but simply understand, for an adhyatmically oriented person, for someone who has true Adhyatmik Unnati, moksha is not about wondering about not having a rebirth. It's about living with freedom in this life. Freedom from what? Your own ego, your own pain, your own interpretations of this world and how this world is causing you trouble and misery. You will not even have those words of trouble and misery spinning in your mind. All days are good days. If your body is functioning, if your organs are functioning, all times are good times. That's what we need to understand. So, hope this helps you focus in that pursuit. So don't be scared of spirituality. Don't think that spirituality is doing some adambar of, separating yourself and imagining as if energies are rising and this, all of that will happen. But those are not the stop. The true focus of your Adhyatmik Unnati is that You will be peaceful all the time. You will be joyous all the time. You will not need external stimuli. You will be in harmony all the time. You will have compassion at any given point in time. And very important, you will at all points in time have what is called God consciousness, or the consciousness of the divine. You know it as Shiva, you know it as Shakti, you know it as Brahma, you know it as Christ, you know it as Allah, whatever it is, that essence will be there from whatever your belief systems are. So understand and keep this focus.